Hey Royals, welcome back. Part 15 of Diary of the D. We jumping right in. Police knocked at the door. Let's see what happens when they answer the door and what that looks like. Can you imagine somebody putting their hands in your mouth and scraping your mouth like that? Can you imagine even thinking to do that? Unless you're trying to get a man off of you, or you're a victim, about to be a victim of something. I don't even I've never heard of that in my life. That's a special kind of twisted, ain't it? Okay, part 15. Let's see what happens. And thank you for your support to this point. Here we go.
Welcome to part 15 of my experience as a CO. So after doing what he told me to do, I go in the restroom, I'm boo crying. I grab like some toilet paper to wipe my mouth because my mouth is leaking blood, y'all. From when he put his whole hand in my mouth and scratched my shit up, because I was screaming for him to get off of me. I was screaming and yelling for him to get off of me, and he would put his hand in my mouth and just grab my tongue and scratch my whole mouth up, y'all. It was the evilest thing I ever been through. So he opened the door. So the officer, I can hear from the restroom because I have the door cracked. So the officer is we gotta complain about somebody in his room fighting, yelling, loud noises. So, they asked him what was going on. Of course, he tried to lie and say, we good, nothing is going on, So the officer is do you have anybody else here with you? And he was just me and my girlfriend. They said, so where's your girlfriend at? He was she's in the restroom, using the restroom. They was ma'am, can you please come out of the restroom? So he come to the restroom, open the door, and he looking at me giving me that look bitch, if you say anything type shit. So I come out of the restroom, I forgot what color shirt I had on, but whatever color it was enough color to see a blood stain on it. So my hair is all over my head, y'all. Because by now I had took those braids down. I did not have them no more. So my hair was looking real crazy. It was all over my head from him pulling it. So after them IDing him and seeing who he was and his background, they really labeled this man a menace to society. That's the crazy thing. So they put him in handcuffs and sat him down outside the room while another officer talked to me by myself.
What do you think that she did at that point? What would you have done at that point? If he has been labeled in the system as a menace, from being the correctional officer where he was, that he's a menace. I don't understand how first of all, we know it's about 25 of these, so we know some more shit happened. We know that off top. So let's just say, what in the entire hell were you thinking? Do people just like to play Russian roulette with their life? In her defense, she was young. She was also coming off the heels of the passing of the father that she knew. There were other things going on that led into this. But in that space, and you just got your butt whipped like that, and it's blood on you, and he just told you a couple days he's not going to do this anymore, but he did do it anymore. Let's see what happens with the cops. Hopefully he take his ass to jail. I mean, I know what happens, but let's see.
So they asked him what's going on. He was we just had a heated, argument about a post that I made on Facebook. He just came up with some shit. So while they're talking to him, another officer is talking to me. So the officer is asking me, do you have an ID? Can I see it? So I let him see my ID, and he was like, why are you out here? You live 5 hours away. What are you doing? He was like, you so young. Are you okay? Because they realized our age gap. They was like, are you okay? If something is wrong, you can tell us. Y'all, I wanted to say, get me out of here. Like, take me away as far as I can be taken away. Like, help me. You know, like, I wanted to cry for help, but I was so scared. Even though he was in handcuffs, I was still so scared of what could have happened. So I was like, I'm okay. Like, we just argue. I'm going along with his story. I was like, we just argue over Facebook because I didn't like something that he posted. So they asked me again. They was like, ma'am, are you okay? And I was like, yes. They was like, you have a blood stain on your shirt. Are you okay? And I kept saying, yes, I'm okay. So I was stepping back. I don't know why I was stepping back, but he said, watch your step. There's blood on the floor. And then he repeated himself. He was like, are you okay? And I was like, yes, I'm okay. So I'm talking about, they was questioning him like crazy. They was like, why do you have scratches all over your chest, like in your back and your shoulders? Because when somebody got scratches on them, I don't know if y'all know that, but that's desperation. So like when somebody is scratching you trying to get away, that's because they're desperate to do anything to get out the way. So y'all, they seen my blood on the floor and they seen the blood on my shirt on top of him having scratches. So what I couldn't seem to figure out is, how many times do y'all want me to tell y'all I'm okay until y'all actually understand what the fuck is going on?
In certain states, they cannot assume anything. There's blood on the floor, it could be his. There's blood on your shirt, it could be his. You could have initiated it, you could have whipped his tail. He could be the one that is actually scared. Point being is that if you don't say blink something to indicate that something is wrong, then they have nothing to go by in certain states. Now, there are states where if you get called out, California is one of them, somebody's going, or both of y'all are going. Whomever is the most messed up is the one that is going. That's just point blank period how it is. In every state, is it that way? No, it's not. But a better question is, why they giving you all the signs and indicators and all of those things, you never blinked. You didn't even say, you didn't do a signal, you didn't do anything. But you don't understand why they didn't do it for you. And they don't understand why you didn't do it for yourself. I can't blame the police system, now can I? Because you had every opportunity to say something, a hand signal or anything. Now, what I don't agree with is, why did you place them in proximity to hear one another? Because if you separated them so that they could talk, and you truly believe that she was hurt, or that you needed to ask her that question that many times, why did you make it so that he could not hear, see, turn around, anything, and contribute to that conversation or overhear that conversation? I think they did her a disservice in that way. But they asked her enough times that she could have even just been, blinked, or when you do like this and your eyes get big, you could have did anything, or shook your head real quick. Do anything if you really want to get far as hell away from there. You have to do what you have to do. And if that means that he acts erotic and they do what they have to do to him, that's between him, Jesus, and that police, not me. I don't want to die. I don't want to die, and I don't want to be dismantled, and I don't want to be... Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Y'all seen this man record, he's a felon. Y'all labeled him a menace to society. Y'all have every clue in the book that y'all need. Like, clearly I'm not okay. But because I was telling them that I was fine and that there was nothing going on, we pretty much had the same storyline. There was nothing that they could do to him. So they took him out the handcuffs. And one officer pulled me to the side and she was like, sweetheart, go home. She was like, I see from your ID you are not from here. I see y'all age gap. I see the signs, but because you're not telling me nothing, I can't do anything to him. She told me, go home. Like for part 16.
What would you have done? If you were that policewoman, what would you have done? I wonder if I wonder if you're legally able to take somebody in that state. You must not be able to in Texas, because that wouldn't make sense for all of this to happen. Blood, all of that. Police called, neighbors reported it in a hotel room, and nothing happened. But that lady, I don't know, it's just something different about me, that when an elder says something, or somebody that I respect, or a child, hell, anybody I love, if they say anything that's an indicator that they know I'm not okay or something like that, I just burst into tears. And I don't want to let people down. So that's something that's strong over my life, that my mother put in me and the people around me. And it works to the advantage of keeping me safe. It does work to that advantage. Now, in other areas, child, it's another story for another day. But I would have became a basket case. I would have broke down like, please help me. I do want to go home. And then they could have got a restraining order, did all of these things so you could get him out of your system. And, well, let's go to part 16 and see what happens. This is going to hell in a handbasket real quick. Let's see. See you in part 16. On the way out, subscribe, share, like the video, and comment below what you would have done to this point. What would you have done if the police ask you? You think people are crazy when they don't tell the truth? Mind manipulation, mental abuse, all of those things are real. They become your reality. It's very scary. So knowing the signs on the front end so you can stay away from things like that is really only the way to save yourself. Getting involved thinking you can save somebody or help somebody, that type of person, their mental capacity to break you down is much stronger than yours to pull them out. It just is, and it's very unfortunate, but you can't save them. A professional can't save them. They have to save them, and have to want to be saved. So that is it. See you in the next episode.